Hey guys, welcome back to the Anxious Girly. I hope that you're well. I'm going to dive straight into this today because I want to talk about the little voice in your head. Like, I'm not talking about you can actually hear someone, but it's more like an internal monologue. I'm talking about the voice that can be quite mean. The voice that tells you that you're not good enough and that you shouldn't go out and be the best version of yourself. You're not lovable, you're ugly, blah, 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 all of that jazz. And I think it especially comes around when you're trying to make something of yourself, whether that be healing in your career, so on and so forth. Because it's definitely something I'm dealing with right now as I'm trying to figure things out. That little gremlin in my head is just, it's beating the crap out of me. And firstly, I want to say that I think everybody has this, so it's normal. I don't think I've met anybody that doesn't have an internal monologue. It's just that some people have learned to control it more than others. So it got me thinking, who is that voice in my head? Like, who is it? Who does that voice belong to? Because it doesn't belong to me. I'd like to think that I've got to a point in my life where I'm no longer that mean to myself. And if I'm trying to do X, Y, and Z, I'm certainly not going to be trying to talk myself out of it by insulting myself and making me feel worse or inadequate. So, yeah, it really got me thinking, whose voice is it? And what part of myself is holding on to that? Now, I know what you're probably thinking. You're probably thinking, look, it's me. I'm the one that's talking in my brain. But no, it's not. Hear me out. When you were young, growing up, your brain learns safety through external forces, your parents, your family, family friends, siblings. You learn how people responded to you when you were emotional, excited, a little terror, loud, quiet, all those lovely stuffs. And eventually, as you're growing up, you stop hearing it from the outside and you start absorbing it like a sponge. And it becomes your internal voice. That doesn't mean that you're weak. It means you're growing up, you're adapting. Most of us don't just have one voice. We seem to have patterns. Well, especially for me, anyway, from delving into this. And what I found for me is number one, I got the critical voice. The one that says, you should be good enough by now. You should be better. You sound stupid. You're embarrassing yourself. Stop. This voice normally forms when love or approval felt conditional. And then you have number two, the dismissive voice. You know, the one that minimizes everything that you do or think. You're overreacting. It's not that deep. Just get on with it. Let it go. A lot of people have formed that voice when they've encountered situations where their emotions were too much and external factors taught them that big emotions just aren't welcome. And and a lot of anxiously attached people have probably experienced this with avoidance, but this is a whole different ball game. And number three is the abandonment voice. Now this one's a little quieter, but it's still pretty powerful. This one is the one that gets a lot of anxiously attached people in bad relationships and stops them from communicating their boundaries. This says, don't be too much, don't push, minimize yourself, yada yada. You get where I'm going with that. And number four is the over responsible voice. This is the voice that formed for those that had to grow up a little too early. They had to take responsibilities on at a younger age. This voice normally says things like, everything's on you, it's always on you, and if you rest, everything will fall apart. Now, It's not all doom and gloom, I promise. Here's the part where things started to change for me, was when I realized that the voices in here, they weren't trying to destroy me. Because I know at the time, especially when you're low, God, they really do feel like your worst enemy. And it's not that. They're not trying to harm you. They're actually trying to protect you in a really outdated way. Imagine a computer that's just not had any software updates since 2005. It's only doing what it knows best to do. It doesn't know anything else. So it's up to us to uninstall those outdated programs and refresh the system, if you will. The problem isn't the voice in here. The problem is that we think it's true and we don't question it. But here's the catch. If from now on you start trying to fight with this voice in your head, you're going to overwhelm yourself and you're going to run out of steam pretty quickly. So, here's the thing. Knowledge is power here. So the next time you hear that voice in your head, and I don't know, let's say you want to go game for a little while, you know? You've had a hard day at the office, you've had a hard day at work, or let's just say you just had a bad day and you just want to rest and game. But the little voice in your head says, if you rest, then you're a worthless piece of. Stop there and recognize what that is. Take a second, whether it be 5 seconds, 10 seconds, concentrate on your breathing, but just focus on that voice for a moment. Let the emotion pass and focus on it. What is that? Oh, it's my overly responsible voice talking. Oh, this is my abandonment voice talking. This is my critical voice trying to keep me safe. Thank you. But that's not what we're doing now. We don't need to do that. You don't have to believe it. You just have to notice it. Recognizing these small patterns within yourself are just the baby steps that allow you to heal and become a better version of you. There's no big jump between being insecure, unhealed to healed. Many people believe that, and it's not true. It's not true. Believe me. It is about just honing these small little steps. That's all it is. If this resonated with you, I want you to know that you're not broken. You're just patterned. And there's good news, my friend. Patterns can change. It might be slow, it might be hard, but they can change. Over time, they will change, as long as you put the effort in. As always, guys, be gentle with yourself. I've been the Anxious Girly. Peace.